Hey, how's it going, Like? It's me. No rubbish, no gimmicks, just me and an RB26 this time. What we're doing today is we are double checking the cam timing on the Tomi Pon cams that I've got installed in the RB26. Now, I've already done the intake. The intake is set to, as a reference point of 110, which I'll explain hopefully. There is a better description of this and I will post the link in the comments below for you, but effectively what I'm doing is I'm using a dial test indicator and the marks on my ATI damper to set up where the adjustable vernier pulleys and the camshafts go. So for this I've managed to do it with the intercooler on, although it's a bit of a pain in the ass and I have cut my finger. Oh, my poor finger! So how this works is I basically have already set the TDC point on the engine, the true TDC point, and how I've done that is I've used a modified spark plug. It's a modified spark plug with a bolt put in through it, and this is a piston stop. For that you'd be better looking at the link that I've put in my video for how to set that. But effectively I've set this little needle that points to the vernier marks, the denotions, the degrees of crankshaft travel. So that gives me a true top dead center, which allows me to progress and set up the camshafts. Now the setup I've used for the dial test indicator is just a standard dial test indicator, but I've made an extension with a little bit of a kink in it. Now this is to sit on top of the bucket for your valves, valve springs and valves. Now the dial test indicator is set to run parallel with the motion of the bucket. Also, you have to make sure that it doesn't come in contact with the lobe in the camshaft and knocks out of place. I'm just using a ratchet to turn over the engine. So, how you do this is you set the engine to top dead center, which is top dead center there. Then you turn the engine. You'll notice as you turn the engine, the dial test indicator starts to go down with the movement of your valve. Now I'm doing the exhaust side because I've already done the intake side. And down it goes. Now again, if you check out the guide in my link, it explains it a lot better than I'm going to be able to do. I'm just giving you a quick look at what I'm doing here. But you're using reference points in your dial test indicator. So you're working out certain reference points on the camshaft. So I'm using 0.3 of an inch. This is an inch movement dial indicator. I've set it at ½ inch. So when you move the crankshaft, the valve goes down to 0.3 of an inch, and that's when we look at our reading on our crankshaft and we basically write that down, which at the moment it is 190. You write that down in my little terrible handwriting squiggly notepad. Then you continue travel. Right down to full down. Then back up again. There. 39. You do a little bit of quick math and that tells you that the exhaust camshaft at the moment is 115, which is exactly where the pon cams need to be. So 110, 115 in the exhaust, 110 the intake. I'm happy with that. It was out by about a degree in the exhaust, so I'm not saying it's going to make big differences, but I mean, I've got a dyno this week, and I want everything to just be perfect. I'm happier with that. I'm happier with that. Always make sure to lock in your bolts on your camshafts. You don't want them to come loose when you're running the engine. I like to put the spark plugs in as soon as I can, just in case you drop anything into the engine. You don't want to be fishing bolts or anything out of the cylinder. So it's a top tip from Pro37. Right, it's me back together. I think that's everything mechanically back together. You'll maybe ask, what was all that about? Well, if we're going back to the dyno, we just want to make sure that I'm making, you know, all the possible horsepower that's there, and the cam timing just being out a little bit affects that. So, you know, I've gotten a bit better engineering wise. I've learned a bit in the time since I've done it, so hopefully that should be good. Now the next stage will be setting up the digital timing in the ECU using the speed gun, or timing light. But before I do that, I want to heat wrap the downpipe, and I've got a bit of heat wrap to put around one of the water cooling hoses that's gotten quite close to the new exhaust system. So we need to jack the car up and take the downpipe off. Right, if you come with me, right, gorilla style, underneath here. Oh, look at that, nice weld. So we've disconnected the V-band down here, which is a cracking setup. You basically loosen it off and this little clip here comes off. So, not very professional, was it? So I've been told that the top clamp is a bit iffy, so I've got the rolling road tomorrow, and basically the car's to be in the trailer tonight, so I'm going to have to take my time doing that. Let's have a look at that. So this is the top V-band clamp. Right, let's see what I can do about that. That's good enough. So if you wanted a reminder of what the system sounds like, yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Ah, sugar. I need to disconnect. I need to disconnect the lambda sensor, which is this clip here. Where are you? Ah. That's it. Disconnected. Boom. I'm going to be using lock wire and a set of twist pliers, and I'm going to be using the old heat wrap because well, I'm trying to keep costs down, and there's nothing wrong with this heat wrap, so I'm just going to use it again. It's good quality heat wrap. I bought it from Tweaks, and it is the higher quality type, and it should be okay. Now I'm only going to wrap part of the downpipe. I don't really want to wrap the downpipe because of these lovely welds, but it's right next to the wastegate. I want to try and keep the heat inside the exhaust and out the engine bay. I don't want to melt the diaphragm in my Turbo Smart external wastegate. So here we go. It makes it easier to wrap it, but in this case I'm going to try and do it dry. Wow, that's not went well. That's a good start. Wow, that heat wrap is completely done. That was not professional in any shape or form. But for the dyno, that's going to do. It's going to have to do. I'm going to have to get some new stuff. But for now, that'll do. Alright, well, I've got the camera in this super professional position. I'm sure this is how they film it in Top Gear. Really super professional angles. I'm going to show you these pretty cool Funk Motorsport. They're basically heat wrap. They are Velcro, so you just, it's more so I don't have to take the Dash 6 hose off. It just wraps around about and it Velcros. And this is to protect one of the water hoses. So where would be best? Would it be best to go and look at this from underneath the car maybe? Holy crap, I'm not even in the shot. Right, that there, that is a hose. If I just put this camera down for a second, the magic of filming.
A few moments later.
Boom! Just like that, job done. That was a quick one. Right, on to the next bit. And just like that, boom, we're out the workshop and in a more relaxed setting. Reason being that the dreaded coronavirus has struck the UK. The apocalypse, believe it or not, is here, and I'm just waiting for really zombies to start walking the streets again.
Okay. Take Pete's car, go round Mum's, go in, deal with Philip. Sorry, Philip. Grab Mum, go to Liz's, pick her up, bring her back here, have a cup of tea, and wait for all this to blow over.
All jokes aside, it's a pretty serious thing. I'm in isolation at the moment. I'm not sure how things are going to go with my work. My work's still going. There's still servicing fishing boats. Fishing boats are still going. So I've taken a couple of weeks holidays at the moment to see out the worst of it. I don't know how this lockdown is going to affect the country for the next year, to be honest. But you'll hear enough of that in the news. You'll hear enough talk about that. The only thing I will say is if you are isolating, keep yourself safe. Look out for each other, and you know, hopefully we'll get through this okay. So shout out to anybody that's in the medical profession that's dealing with this at the moment. all the best, and all the best to you, my subscribers and viewers. Hopefully this has been some kind of entertainment for you. So anyway, moving on. What I did next was I had to run up the car, get up the temperature, and using the link ECU, you can lock in the base timing and you can check the timing with a timing light. You do that shining it onto the front crank pulley, and yeah, check the base time and set that up. I had to put the car on the trailer that night. It was going to the dyno the following evening. Idea being, on the Tuesday the car was going to get roll and roaded while I was still at work. Unfortunately, that was precisely the time that our Prime Minister decided to lock the country down as such, to try and stop the spread of this coronavirus. So I had nothing to do but to go and pick up the car and take it home, really. So the car's not mapped. It's not a problem. It'll get done when I need it to get mapped, once these social isolation measures are dropped by the government. It's really not high on the list of priorities at the moment, as you can imagine, with how the things are in the world. But disappointing nonetheless. It would have been nice, the car ready, sitting until this lockdown's been lifted and we can get out driving again. The next event is, of course, Rogue Concept, Mr. Stark's charity event. That is in the start of May. Do I think that's still going to go ahead? I think it's pretty debatable at the moment, but we will see how it goes. Sorry, this video's lasted a bit longer. I kind of envisaged my videos being shorter, 10 minutes. I think this one stretched past the 15 minutes, but thank you very much for watching to the end. I will try and do a better explanatory video once I rebuild the engine at the end of the year. I'll maybe do a bit more in depth at setting the cam timing. But for now, if you check out the link in the description, you'll see a proper walkthrough for setting the cam timing, the one I followed. Again, thank you very much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. Check us out on all the social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Pro307. Take it easy in these uncertain times, and I will catch you later.